Okay, last night, Fox 4 problem solvers, Linda Wager, said that a car that we used to own, Suzuki SX4, had been flooded before we sold it. Didn't exactly say that, but what she's inferring that that car was flooded while we owned it. We didn't tell the dealership when we sold it. The dealership didn't tell the auction when they sold it, and the car dealer that sold it to a lady didn't tell them that it had been flooded. Well, this is to show you why that car had mud up under the undercarriage of the car. This is my driveway. I just left my house. This isn't a field road or any old muddy road that I could find to film. It's my actual driveway. It's about a half a mile long, and you're going to be able to see that this driveway is not what I would say in good shape. I don't spend thousands of dollars a year on gravel and grading to keep it in shape. You can see the car sliding around a little bit there in the mud. We just buy a car that will all-wheel drive and high enough ground clearance to get up and down our driveway, and when it's dry, I grade it, flatten it out, fill up the big ditches that the rain makes, and we go on from there. Right now, we've had some rain. We haven't had any dry weather for a while. So this is what it looks like. And it looks like this frequently. And the car that we traded off had been up and down this driveway on a 5 or 6 to 7 day a week basis for about 5 years. And you can hear, if you can hear the sound, you can hear the mud coming up from the driveway, picked up by the tires and thrown up underneath this car. This car, if you looked at the underneath side of this car, it would look just like the car that they showed on the television segment last night. It's a different model, so they're not exactly the same, but the mud's going to be up in the undercarriage just like it was on the car they showed last night. There's several different kinds of mud along here too, and the one that I recognized last night underneath that car, I'll show you here in just a minute, is a particular stretch of this road that is red clay. The black dirt that you see typically flips up underneath the car, and then it dries out and it falls off. It doesn't stick together as well as the clay does. Right up here, and we have a little creek crossing here. Not really a creek, just a drainage. But right up here on this little hill that you'll see, there's three tire sets of tire tracks and 2 big ditches, basically. And since it rained last night, I don't know that I'm going to be able to go the middle way. There's a middle way here. You can see the 2 flat areas up. I'm sliding off into that ditch on the left side, so I'm going to have to put it in reverse and back up. I was afraid that would happen, and you can see it's happened before, is where you slide off into that deep ditch on the right side, and you can kind of keep going up through there, but it's not really a good idea because it's hard on the bottom of the car, scrapes. So here I'll take the high road, get up there, and I put the one tire high up on the bank, and the right hand tire on this side, the passenger side tire right now, is down in this one of these ruts. Well, that rut keeps me from sliding over to the right to that big deep ditch. So this is how that car got all that mud packed up underneath of it. And you can see there's a fairly reddish clay right there. And so Linda Wager is basically saying we did something we didn't do. She's accusing a car dealer of doing something he didn't do. And all because a mechanic that maybe needs to go get some training in how to tell if a vehicle has been flooded told somebody that because all the cars he ever sees, or all they've ever been driven on, is asphalt or concrete, he didn't recognize the car that had been driven on gravel roads and dirt roads. So we're going to pull out here on the gravel road and head to town. We're still 2.5 miles from town, and you're going to be able to hear all that sound. You hear the mud flying off the tires, hitting the bottom of the car. And then we've got 2 more miles of gravel road like this. So that car was driven on this stuff on a daily basis for the 5 years that we owned it. We bought it brand new right off the dealer lot in Kansas City, and we traded it off for a newer model car. The car had over 100,000 miles on it. And interestingly enough, the lawyer said that the tag on the shock strut, actually the tag on the strut, proved that the car had been flooded. Well, that's interesting because that's using repair and replace part that's normally replaced on a car at about 100,000 miles. It's a wear out and replace part. The presence of that tag doesn't prove that the car was flooded, so I wouldn't want that guy representing me in court. So there you go. Like I said, I've got about 2 more miles of about 1.5 miles now of this road left, of this gravel road. So that's showing you how that car got in the condition it's in. It's not damaged. It's never ever been flooded, period, while we owned it. And I would suspect that it's never been in a position to have been flooded after we traded it off. So Linda Wager and her team did a sloppy job of investigating this. They had a mechanic that probably needs some training. Tell them something and tell the owner something that was not true. So here you go. Anybody that sees this and knows somebody in the broadcast industry in the Kansas City area, you're welcome to pass it on to them. Thank you.